Morning everybody, it's Sunday the 10th of March 2024. It's just after 7:15 in the morning and I'm starting my morning run. This part of Goulburn where I am at the moment is just Cemetery Street. There's the old cemetery there. I'm not going to film all of this one, just bits and pieces of it. I'm going on an extension of the Wallandilly walking track up behind the jail here. This track goes for about 600 metres, so I'll film the start and the turnaround point. I'll come back to you when I get to the turnaround point. I've reached the turnaround point. Quite foggy here at the moment. The track is closed because there's a new bridge being built over the river there. Seems to have been taking ages and ages to build. Hopefully they're finished shortly and the track will be opened. I'm coming up on the Warri River track. Called that because it, or to me that's why it's called this, is because it runs beside the Warri River here. It's down through the fog here. It goes for about 1.2 k's. It comes out on May Street. So I'll come back to you when I get there. Just coming up on the end of that Warri River track, crossing May Street now, and around here and cross over the May Street Bridge. Which goes over the Warri Ponds. Up this short rise here and into the Goulburn wetlands. It's about a 1 kilometre loop around the wetlands to the other end of May Street. So I'll come back to you then. And I've come out of the wetlands onto May Street. On the right hand side is the Goulburn Golf Club, left hand side a new housing subdivision, about a K to Park Road from here, so I'll come back to you then. This is the intersection of May Street and Park Road. Make a right hand turn across Park Road here. It's the Goulburn East Public School. Directly ahead is opened in the 18 something or other. Not sure, there's a sign down here, so I'll look and I'll tell you then. It's probably the smallest of the public schools in Goulburn. I think 7 teachers. This makes it about maybe 210 kids. Established in 1887. I took a couple of turns and now I'm on Glenelg Street, which goes down to Forbes Street, where I'll turn left and go out towards Bungonia Road and the Lansdowne Bridge. So I'll come back to you at the end of Glenelg Street. I've reached the end of Glenelg Street, and I'm just turning onto Forbes Street. Quite foggy here, as you can see, because over on the right through the fog there is the Warri River. This is fairly low country, a bit cool overnight. This is Forbes Street. I keep on going on here for a while till I come to the Bungonia Bridge, Lansdowne Bridge on the Bungonia Road. So I'll report in again when I get there. This is the intersection of Bungonia Road and Forbes Street, and on the Lansdowne Bridge, which is one of the bridges I covered in my 4 bridges run not so long ago. It's 183 centimetres long, 183 metres long, I beg your pardon, and costs 18 million and some change to build. It was opened in 2019 and replaced a timber bridge that had been here for about 100 years. It's about a K from here to up over the railway line to Sloane Street, so you'll catch up with me again when we get there. I'm coming off Bungonia Road, just down off the bridge over the railway line onto Sloane Street. Sloane Street's one of the longest streets in Goulburn, and it has about 3 different names. Sloane Street here. A bit later on it becomes Grafton Street, and then Reynolds Street. I'll report in again when it becomes Grafton Street. About 7 k's in to the run for those who are trying to keep track. Just crossing Bradley Street at the pub here and coming onto Grafton Street. It's really Sloane Street, but it just changes its name. Not sure why. One of the things about Grafton Street is that it's a bit of a time zone of Goulburn's history. You see there's a sign just here telling you that. Lots of houses, I think this one here, have little plaques that tell you about the history of the building or the property. And you find out that some were shops. And at least 1 or 2 of the buildings here were schools at one point. And about halfway down the street is an Australia Post letterbox, which is interesting because it's designed with a vertical slot for letters rather than horizontal as they normally have. And it's designed that way so that people could post letters without getting off their horse. In the days, of course, when people rode horses. All right, I'll report in again when I get to the end of this street. This is the end of the Grafton Street time zone, and the road changes its name again and now becomes Reynolds Street. On the right hand side, hidden in the fog, is Mary MacKillop Park and Tennyson Woods Garden, a rose garden I think it is. And on the left hand side here is the Sisters of St Joseph's Convent. Mary MacKillop is Australia's first Catholic saint, and he started the Sisters of St Joseph. The brown ones, that is, they wear the brown uniforms, and Tennyson Wood, I believe, was a priest who helped her in her work. I'm going to cross the Sydney Road shortly, so I'll come back to you when I've done that. Just crossing the Sydney Road. Once you turn right here, go to Sydney, turn left, go back towards the CBD. This is Goulburn North Public School, and This street is called Union Street. We're 9.73, so 2.7 k's from coming off the Braidwood Road over the railway line to here, and I think I've got about 2 to go. At the end of Union Street, North Park directly ahead. Around the corner here, I think it becomes Shaftesbury Street, and at some point it also becomes Tarlow Road. We've got about just under a k to go, I think, to just before the Kenmore Bridge, and I'll turn off onto the river track again, so I'll report in when I get there. Coming up to that turn off directly ahead there, if you can see it through the fog, is the Kenmore Bridge. I turn right just to this garbage tin here and back on the Wallandilly walking track, I think it's called, yes. Stage 2 this was, or is. Coming up directly ahead there is the old railway bridge, a line out to Crookwell, and a line was closed a long time ago, and then a section of the bridge was taken down to stop kids climbing on it and injuring themselves, I guess. And we go around this bend, up a short rise, come to Riversdale, which is an historic National Trust property, one of the early buildings in this part of Goulburn. Coming up on the end of the track here now, Riversdale is on the left. As I said, it's an historic National Trust property. It's open some weekends. This is Twynham Drive, named after the Twynham family. I think they built Riversdale way back when. There's about 1k to go. Once you cross the railway line ahead, it becomes Maud Street down the front of the jail, and some mechanics and panel beaters, scrap metal dealers, bus depot, before getting back to the starting point. I'll come back to you then. Just coming around this last bend here, and you should be able to see the white beast up ahead, that being my Can-Am Spider RT limited motorcycle. If you've watched all the way to the end here, thank you. You might find a map. I hope I remember to put it in at the end so you can see where I've been. Thank you again for watching. And they're coming up on 12.3 kilometres. The heart rate zone for those who are interested in that.